so I haven't been making a video on YouTube or on BitChute or basically any video platform for quite a while. Now, one, I was sick. Second, I was actually building a new setup, and you probably can't really tell because my old setup, you probably can tell because I have a whole different camera that I'm filming off of, and I still have my old mic, I still have, some of my old stuff, but I have a completely different computer. I was using a laptop, now I have a real computer, yada yada yada. I don't have to run off and talk about all my new stuff that I have. I mean, that's kind of stupid, I think, and pretty much irrelevant from the discussion of what I actually want to talk about in this video. But hey, just want to tell you that there's a little change, a few little changes. You can't tell, the only little change right now, I'd say, is I have a nutcracker. I have a bigger nutcracker that I got that you can see, and also a little smaller one right next to it. Some Christmas lights, everything like that, to set the mood, because Christmas is actually one of my favorite holidays. One of my favorite months of the year is obviously December. I think that I equally love summer and then the winter time, about 50%, 50%. It's like an equal half and half situation where I love the summer. I also love the winter, but when it comes down to it, completely honest, I love winter way more. I really do. Obviously, I live in the Northwest. I live over in Oregon, right by Portland. That's pretty far north. And yeah, I love the cold. I don't really mind rain. I know a lot of people, sometimes that could be their secret little kryptonite where they cannot deal with rain. They have to be in a warm climate 24/7. If they're ever visiting even an area that has rain for like 24 hours, they will start freaking out. They'll have like 20 jackets on, that kind of situation. And I mean, I've never been through anything like that. I've never experienced that or felt the need. I seem to always be, I'd say, warm enough, and the cold does not scare me. What does scare me, to be completely honest, would be when it's super hot, like the desert. I would be way scared to be stranded in like a desert environment. Like, okay, this sounds horrible and kind of twisted and weird, but let's say randomly I had a choice where I had to either be stuck in the middle of like a snowstorm or something, or like the middle of like a desert where it's extremely hot, you've like camels or something, or somewhere like that in the world, right? I would definitely choose to be surrounded in the snowy climate. And you're like, okay, you could get frostbite, you can freeze still, you get hypothermia, so what's the deal? Why do you think that's better? Well, you can always warm up, but you can't necessarily always cool down. So let's say that you're in the desert. How are you going to cool down? You don't have shade. You don't have water, probably. It's really, really hard to find, if not, or maybe instead of like a cactus somehow or something like that. But like very, very limited supply. So like, I just don't understand, like there's no way to cool down unless you want to bury yourself in like the sand or something. Like the sand is hot. Like when you go on a beach sometimes, and like let's say you're walking, you go not towards the water, but you're going away from the water, you're gonna burn your feet unless you're wearing like sandals or something if the heat is like way hot. If it's like a very hot day in the summer, you're gonna burn yourself on your feet if you're not wearing proper shoes. So I couldn't imagine that burying yourself in the sand would do any good. Well, earlier this week, we have the beginning of this news story that I really want to talk about, and that has to do with PewDiePie. So, he officially quit Twitter. There's a lot of different rumors that started to, go everywhere from the mainstream media that we're just about to talk to and get into. But first, I really want to talk about him just officially quitting Twitter for good, being done with it, and, not wanting to turn back. So I think that the reason for that, and he obviously explained it, another thing that I'm about to get into, but I believe that the reason why is, mainly that, Twitter and other platforms like that are going downhill because of the censorship. It really is. Nobody wants to talk about it. I mean, a lot of people do want to talk about it, that's not true. But a lot of people, the majority, they do not want to talk about censorship. They don't want to act like it's still a thing, and it is. It's not just a thing that's happening. It's something that's happening. It's continuously happening. It's growing. It's becoming bigger. But the only reason I'm really saying this is because I've actually experienced this myself. So a lot of my stories, I'm not actually gonna say unless I really have knowledge through it. I have like a friend, like a really close friend that experienced that, family or like myself or whatever. Like I have to have proof like that, or videos or data, whatever, okay? Whatever I talk about, typically, I mean, 99% is gonna have some sort of proof. If it's not like opinionated, if it's not just my own opinion or something like that. I mean, I'd like to give a lot of proof from what I talk about and try to make a lot of different references where you can see, where you can go and you can see for yourself of, actual facts. Because I think that when you just kind of like talk about different stuff, I mean, especially online, you can make up a lot, you can say anything, really. I mean, because this isn't really, like the real world. So like you have to have, I would say, not like proof or anything like that, but kind of like fact checking and whatnot and stuff. And here it is. So that kind of thing. Everything revolved around Bluebird, revolved around Alphabet, Boomer Book, all those different social media companies involved with big tech are going to end very, very soon. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by end? Just like MySpace, just like they ended. I mean, not really so, because that guy that owned it or whatever, he's like happy, he started doing like photography, then he stopped doing that and he went on and did his own personal thing, kept it a secret, and technically he just sold his company. What's happening right now is way different than what happened before in the past. I mean, this is about censorship. It's about different companies. I mean, I believe that are working together. I mean, I'm not saying that they're colluding at all, but what are they doing? I don't know. Creators as big as PewDiePie and creators as small as myself currently are, as mad at everything that's going on, because it just seems that YouTube is rewarding horrendous behavior, just a reckless, downright reckless behavior of different people that are on this platform, that are doing illegal stunts, that are just, acting absurd, and really it's an embarrassment to the whole community. And who's getting banned? Who is going to get banned and going to have everything happen in their account? It is the honest, loyal creators that this is happening to. Now, this all began because of a video that PewDiePie uploaded, of course, and it was titled, "I Hate Twitter." So during this video, I thought it was very brilliant, if I do say so myself, and very honestly, I'm saying this because I think that usually PewDiePie, he has a lot of different videos that are related towards the internet, that have to do with memes, has to do jokes, has to do things that are very funny, and that's okay. But I think that this video was one of his much more serious videos that he's done, and I think that a lot of people can learn something from it. They just want to sit down for more than about 7.5 minutes. Most important, he goes back to the past, highlighting different quotes from Aristotle and different statements. The Daily Mail, Mirror, and Birmingham Live all made false claims, all against PewDiePie, saying that, what he was saying was that he was going to quit YouTube, or that he was going to quit the whole entire internet. Both of those statements are not true. Obviously, he was only going to go off of the internet for a little bit of time, and he's quitting Twitter. In other news, the Streamy Awards decided to honor Tana Mongeau as Creator of the Year, and everyone believes and agrees that she is undeserving. The people like Tana should actually be replaced by Mr. Beast. I mean, not really replaced, but Mr. Beast should be acknowledged more because he actually gave back. Also, just participating in the community a little more than Tana has, because really all she did was fake a relationship with Jake Paul. And, you know, pretty much from that, she also had an MTV show. So, I mean, we're talking about MTV not long ago, I guess, probably because they have to do with Tana. And, I mean, recently, they actually interviewed Nick Fuentes because their MTV News, about a week ago, he was, you know, featured, and he was talking about being questioned by a prison Nazi. So apparently MTV claimed that, you know, Nick Fuentes was going off and all this stuff, but they said that Nick Fuentes, I mean, this was footage from 2 years ago. According to Nick Fuentes, this footage was from 2 years ago, and they said that they are going to paint him in a good light. They never did that, and now all of a sudden they're making a documentary on True Life. It's later on, and they're pointing him in a very, very, very negative way. I mean, I don't think that's very fair. I think that this is almost like a little attack from MTV. So going more into the whole MTV thing. Okay, so basically you have Nick Fuentes. He agrees to an interview. He agrees to an interview with like a Nazi that's been in jail for a while. The Nazi that's been in jail for a while starts lecturing Nick about white pride. Basically, according to the guy on MTV, anybody that has any pride on their own race, on being Caucasian or white or Norwegian or Swedish or Australian or whatever, right? So anybody that's white, Irish, right? Like anything, you are not supposed to be proud. You can't have, like, you know, there is black pride, there's Asian pride, so on and so on. Why can't you have white pride? Why does it only have to be a racist thing? I mean, to me, this never made sense why this is completely racist, and now everybody wants to talk about it, so that's a good thing, because I do not think that this is racist at all. Like, MTV actually gave Nick a deal, and they ended up screwing him, because it looks like they're like, hey, do you want to go on True Life on MTV for this whole entire political, you know, showdown that we're gonna have? And he's like, yeah, of course I will. Then they twisted everything upon him from what they originally stated that they were going to do. No one has actually watched MTV since the beginning of Robin Big. If you could even, like, if you could even remember Robin Big, that is when everybody stopped watching MTV, because it was the last good show. It's also the last thing that got anybody interested in the public. And the people, they just stopped watching that. A lot of people, they'd say, no, it's Jersey Shore, yada yada. Like, no. It wasn't reality shows that saved MTV at all. And now they're done. Back, like, Robin Big was so cool if you think about it. Like, it was such, like, a beginning show. It was, like, the ultimate show if you're young. Like, even if you're old, but, like, if you're young especially. Because Robin Big, okay, do you remember that episode where they literally had, like, the vegetable oil car, and they're just trying to put vegetable oil in it so that they can run it, so they can just, like, go down the street, just cruise, stuff like that. Just, like, really chill stuff, honestly. Like, they had, you know, different Guinness World Records that they were just randomly trying to beat. I mean, there was a lot of different stuff that would happen with Robin Big, all their little investors and whatnot, the Fantasy Factory. And I think that really begun a lot of, like, what you see on YouTube now. You see, what, Team 10 or something trying to almost replica the same exact thing. So, I mean, big shout out to Robin Big for being the OGs. On that note, though, I'm going to head out, and I'm going to have another video coming very shortly. Now, I have not made a lot of videos in a while, like I was saying, and it's been quite a long time. I, you know, haven't been able to make a proper video for that long. Well, what I want to promise is that I'm back, and I'm not going to be doing any of that. I'm on my normal schedule. This is a weekly thing. I have multiple videos that are going to be coming out, so no worries on that. I have videos on my channel. If you want to go check them out, you can check them out on YouTube or on BitChute at PewDiePie. That would actually be my main channel, but yeah, go check those channels out.